So I'm hardly the first to tell you that AI is used to make decisions that impact our lives in dramatic ways. Right now, not sometime in the future, right now today, AI is used to determine whether you land that dream job, if you get approved for the mortgage, if that shadow on the MRI is deadly or not, or how long you stay in prison. Big decisions, big implications. I'm also not the first to tell you that AI makes mistakes. It hallucinates and it's biased. So whatever you think about AI, if you use it or not, it is rewiring the foundations of our societies in dramatic ways. And that's why I think, and I really hope you're with me on this, that it should be regulated. I have spent my entire career at this collision point of power and technology. I advised 2 German chancellors on their data and digital strategies. I have led AI strategy at a national and a European level. And these days, I advise Fortune 500 companies and governments on how to use AI without losing control of it. And here's what I've learned. AI is moving at lightning speed. But AI regulation, not so much. And the gap between those two, that's where the real danger lives. For you and for me as individuals, for countries and for societies as a whole. So today I want to talk to you about how we can get to smarter, faster, more flexible AI rules and regulations, not to slow down innovation, but to make sure AI lifts all of us up. Now let's be real here. It's not like the world has been asleep at the wheel on this. In Europe, we just passed our major AI law, the European AI Act, and I was part of that mission. In the US, many states have AI regulation. China has algorithm registries. Everywhere you look, lawmakers are moving on this. But here's the problem that I see with these efforts. They are using 20th century tools to govern a very 21st century phenomenon. We're acting like AI is a product, something that you release once, regulate once, and then walk away from. Like AI is a toaster or a washing machine that we put a CE mark on, and not an ever-evolving technology that shapes the world, interacts with the world, and is being shaped by the world. And there's another problem. Even in the rooms where the rules are being made, and I should know because I've been there, most people have no idea what to regulate when it comes to AI, let alone how to regulate it. And that means that there is still too much focus on the eye-catching symptoms of AI risks. You know, that hallucinating chatbot, that brutal deepfake picture, while the real AI risks are systemic. Algorithmic decisions that reinforce inequality. AI systems that silently destabilize labor markets. Or, for example, models that are so complex that no one, not even their creators, can explain how they reach their critical decisions. So the consequence of that is that we're still asking the entirely wrong questions when it comes to AI regulation. We're asking questions about the outputs of AI. Something like, how should we label this AI-generated text? When we should be asking questions on the implications of AI for our societies. Questions like, how can we make sure that this algorithm in a high-stakes situation like hiring, health, or justice is making explainable and transparent and accountable decisions? And to get to those kinds of questions, I think it's helpful to think about the words of Harvard professor Lawrence Lessig. He said something that still echoes through every conversation about tech and power. Code is law. Code is law. And what he means is this. In the digital world, it's not just governments and courts that shape our freedoms. It's the architecture of the software itself. Code decides what's private, what's possible, what's allowed, what's visible. So when your banking algorithm denies you that loan, That's the law baked into the system. And when your social feed hides certain posts from you, that's the law too. But here's the paradox. If code is law, then our AI laws are de facto entirely powerless. Because they weren't written in a language that AI can understand. AI doesn't even use the same language that built the internet or our large online platforms that we use today. Our legal systems are frankly entirely AI illiterate. And the only way out that I see is that we flip the phrase. If code is law, then law must become code, or at least much more code-aware than it is today. We don't just need to regulate AI, we need to regulate like AI. Our AI laws need to become iteratively, adaptively, and made in real time. That means we need to make AI laws that can respond to AI's ever-changing capabilities. And we need to do legal systems that use AI to test AI regulation, evolve with it, stress it, test its risks and boundaries. We need to use AI's very nature to regulate AI. Now, that's a very different kind of law, and I get that it could be scary, because it's not the kind of law that we're used to. It's not the type of law that follows tech like a chaperone at prom. It's law that is deeply embedded into the systems from the very beginning. But I think in our AI societies, it's the only path forward. And I think that there's real upside to this if we can get this right. Let me give you a glimpse of the future. Imagine if every country in the world had an AI regulatory foresight agency. Not lawyers checking compliance or policing the past, but systems forecasting where AI systems might reshape democracy, mental health, or labor markets before they do. Like a central bank for societal risk. A public dashboard that shows citizens, governments, and industry where AI systems might go off the rail, and not just what happened last quarter. Imagine how helpful it would be if this regulatory foresight agency could predict which job profiles disappear and which other exciting job profiles pop up in the future. Not to force anyone to take that job over another, but to help societies and governments prepare. That's not prediction for prediction's sake. That's AI regulation that anticipates where AI's power is shifting next and helps steer. Here's another example of that future. How about if AI laws could learn like AI does? So, not laws written as static text, but as living, adaptive, responsive code that learns like AI does. So that, for instance, if suddenly a generative AI model becomes wildly popular with teenagers, these living, responsive law systems can adapt automatically in real time to prevent harms from happening as they are emerging, something like body distortion, or mental health issues, or simply sleep deprivation. That's law that learns like AI. And I think it's a great idea because we've all been frustrated by recent events, heinous events that can happen on the internet, and laws take years to change, and law enforcement has to stand by and watch before it can do anything, and the law has to change before that. So that's AI law designed to constrain AI and constrain AI risks in real time as they happen. I don't think that's fantasy at all, or too far off in the future with just a little civic creativity. I think that's the kind of AI law that you get when you stop treating regulation as a bureaucratic constraint and start treating it as a civic technology. Because we don't just need to regulate AI. The goal here is to make sure that the most powerful systems in the world in the future are still governed by the public and not the other way around. Thank you.